Hello, I'm Chuck Long, and on this edition of the Entertainment Outlook, Drake Jensen is that rare commodity in the entertainment world, a country music singer-songwriter who is openly gay. He's a popular performer in his home country of Canada, and the buzz is spreading in the U.S. And welcome, Drake Jensen. It's great to have you here.
Thanks so much, Chuck, for having me.
Now, I just got to say, first off, gay country singer. I mean, it really is something you just don't get to hear a lot of, but I'm so glad you're helping to break down the barriers.
Thank you. It's been an honor to do that, actually. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a big challenge, but also there's been a lot going on the past year that has made it well worth it.
Now, so when you started performing, you weren't out when you first started performing country, right? No,
it had been a while since I'd gotten into music. I've been a musician all my life,
right.
And I decided to get back into it before my bucket list thing, and it was going to be a vanity project, and it grew and grew and grew. And basically, I knew I had to come out because I wanted to be honest with the world. I wanted to do something that would help change the world.
And what was it like when you did come out?
Traumatic.
I'm
For
sure.
me, it was more of a fear, an internal fear, because I think our own fears inside are probably what drive most of our fear in our lives. However, it was received very well in Canada. Like I got more radio play with my second single than Canada did my first after I came out.
Which that says a lot.
Yeah, and definitely it's probably helped. I think it's attracted a lot of positive people to my life.
Right, and somebody has to be one of the first. So again, hats off to you for helping do that.
Well, thank you.
Now, one of the videos I know that got a lot of attention, On My Way to Finding You.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Basically, I wanted to create a country music video that showed two men in a relationship. I'm married. I've been married now for 6 years, and I always say I use my husband in my videos because he's a cheap extra. But no, I wanted to show the world that. I wanted to show that it's a very normal thing. Love is love. It doesn't really matter who you're loving.
Right.
And that everybody should probably just stop judging and go on with their own lives and allow everybody else to love who they want.
I love that. And when I was we can see a little bit of it right there, and that is you and your partner actually in that video. And you said you had an interesting response from both the straight and the gay community.
Yeah, I mean the straight community, we made a radio show here in Knoxville, and they were like calling in, and one guy was saying, there's two kinds of hugs in this world. He said there's the first kind of hug, he said, that you give your friend, he said, and then there's that secondary kind of hug that you give your wife. He said, and that was the secondary kind of hug. And the gay community kind of said, well, why didn't you kiss her? Why didn't you do more? And well, it's country music, and it's baby steps.
Right.
The world doesn't change overnight.
So, and you can't please everybody all the time. I mean, that's part of it.
I've learned how to please myself.
There you go. And I think that's a good motto to go by. Now, when you did the video, though, did you have any idea of what might happen when the video came out?
I knew that Sean and I would change the world with that video.
Uh-huh.
I knew that video probably in 10 years' time will be remembered as something that took one step forward to making a very positive change in the LGBT community. For that, I'm forever grateful of having the opportunity to be able to do that.
And being now, you said you've been in Nashville quite a bit. Mm-hmm. You come down here, you're right. You've recorded some of your music down here.
Yeah.
What's your reception been like in Nashville?
Everybody in Canada said, oh my God, you're going to Nashville, it's the South, and oh, you better watch out. And listen, I came here and found, I don't know how many, 7 bars here that you can go and have a drink and nobody bothers you. Mm-hmm. I found a thriving gay community that has, in the face of adversity, risen above it all. And I think there's a lot of people in Canada in the gay community that could learn a lesson from the gay people in the South. I have a huge admiration for this community.
So, well, that's great to hear. Now, your current CD is called Outlaw.
Yes.
And your single is really, really powerful, Scars. And you've got a brand new video for that. So tell me a little bit about that, and then we're going to take a look at it.
Scars was a song that was written by Zita De Silva and Don Graham in Canada, in Toronto. They knew my story. I suffered bullying gravely as a child, and actually left school at the age of 15 because it was so bad. He knew that story. Him and Zita got together, wrote the song, sent it to me, and it's probably been one of the most profound things I've ever done. And I wanted to make the video just as profound, just as shocking. And when I showed it to one of my very, very best friends, she said to me, I never knew what it was like to be bullied. She said, but for the past 4 minutes, she said, I felt it.
Wow. The video's so powerful. First time I got it, it's one of those where you just kind of get chills when you're watching it, and that's exactly what happened. We're going to let you take a look at it right now. This is Drake Jensen. This is the new video. It's called Scars. Take a look.
It started slowly with an unkind word or two. It was sad to see how ugly it had grown. there was nothing she could do. She was living with her pain all alone, and she prayed to the Lord to take her home. Sticks and stones will break her bones, but broken bones will heal. And deep within, beneath the skin, there's a pain that she conceals. And all her shame and anger she keeps under lock and key, 'cause the words they use when they abuse leave scars that you can't see.
Okay, wow. And that's just a section of the video. The video is just, and by the end, it's just, it is wipeout time, because it really, really is impactful. It's powerful. When did you decide to kind of put some of those statistics in the video?
That was just a given. You know, the interesting thing is that one of the statistics, that when I watched the video back, there was a bunch of statistics. They're from Canada and the US, so they're North American. I say I'm North American because I don't believe I'm just Canadian. But the statistics were there, and I remember watching the video. The biggest shock for me is that I was probably the 4th statistic in the video. And it was very impactful for me. But the statistics had to be there. People need to know that these are actual facts, that kids are carrying guns in the US to school because they don't feel safe. You know, and that was one of the biggest things for me, along with the very, very strong imagery. I scared myself in that.
So, well, tell me a little bit about, we only have about a minute left, but even wardrobe-wise, the leather, I mean, that even made a statement that you
I'm a big part of the leather community, and I've always identified with that, because the thing about leather is that it's very empowering.
Sure.
There's a big leather family. It derived from the bikers after the war. So I've always felt that that's always been a security for me, and when I went to film the video, it was one of the things that I wanted to show, was that I wore this because I didn't feel safe, even in the gay community, because I was so damaged from all of what happened to me.
Sure.
So it was just a natural thing for me to wear. You know?
What would you say to any of the country artists in Nashville that are struggling with coming out? I know we all have our own journey, but just sharing in how it's been for you.
Well, you know, I never judge anybody else, and we are all on our own paths, and I believe that we're all destined for certain things. I knew that this was mine, and as far as anybody else, hopefully, even if they don't come out and they are in the closet and for some reason, you know, can't, that they truly love who they are.
Absolutely. So Drake Jensen, it has been a pleasure having you on. You come back anytime that you're in this area.
Thank you so much, Chuck. I really appreciate it.
You bet. All right, the CD is Outlaw. Pick it up on iTunes, pick it up on Amazon, but pick it up. Drake Jensen, Outlaw. Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of Out and About today. We'll see you next time. Good night.
Monday on Talk of the Town, we're loading up your